I am so impressed how inclusive this type of events became during the pandemic, when thousands of us can get together just on a Teams platform from wherever you are, from your living room or from your kitchen or from your office. So really nice to meet you all. Yes, I joined Ericsson as a summer intern many years ago in my home country, which is Russia. And I fell in love with the company. I had an opportunity to work across several countries, different parts of the organization, both in business-facing HR roles, but as well as in corporate HR. And right now I'm heading up people function for the newest and youngest business area, technologies and new businesses, where we are driving innovation, we are pioneering new ideas, and we are creating growth outside the core business. I honestly think that I have the most exciting job in the people function across the company since I joined. But let's see what new adventures we have ahead of us. And our people story says, we'll help you design your future. You'll help us design the world's. And this has truly resonated with my journey in the company. And today I'm inviting you on the story about how we at Ericsson unlock entrepreneurial and innovation power of our employees designing the worlds. I'll start with a short video, and I hope the technology works and you can see and hear me well.
This is for the dreamers. To all of you doing an incredible job. You still can't stop thinking about that idea. That one idea. That idea that just won't let you go. We love that idea. Because at Ericsson ONE, we can turn your idea into a real business. All you need to do is share it with us.
So Ericsson ONE is our internal accelerator at Ericsson for our employees with pioneering new ideas, new business ideas. And we give opportunities to our talented people to develop these ideas and build successful ventures beyond our core capabilities in the company. And by leveraging Ericsson's global scale, our technology, and our relationship with the customers and experts, we help as a company to make startups of our employees a success. And we mean business because if you look at the innovation space in a broader context, there's a lot of talk, there's a lot of theatrics with entrepreneurs who have to use a lot of their time by securing funds and doing fundraising. What we do from a company perspective, we offer them serious investment in both people and product or services, and giving people a real opportunity to create highly successful ventures and become a CEO of their company. So our diverse teams of experts provide hands-on support and coaching and advice, and anyone from Ericsson is welcome to submit an idea. So Ericsson ONE has established a very well and highly effective innovation acceleration process that consists of several stages, which you can see now. And initial ideas are reviewed by the team, and the most promising ones are moving forward in the flow towards the next step. The entrepreneurs here or their extended teams then go through a step-by-step process, which involves rapidly creating, testing, and validating their prototypes, building a minimum viable product, and if everything goes well, developing into a fully fledged acceleration unit within Ericsson portfolio. As they progress through the stages, entrepreneurs need to pitch with various stakeholders in order to secure further investment. And when going through this journey, our entrepreneurs are provided with everything they need in order to successfully launch a new venture and to scale it quickly, starting from dedicated resources, training, coaching, support, funding, early adopters, customers, so they get the full range. And by giving people this opportunity, we are offering our employees support on their innovation journeys while developing new products that our customers can also benefit from. So if you look at this 5I or innovation process and how our employees can join, it starts with the first stage, which is called initiation. When after an employee has submitted an idea and it has been evaluated against our growth strategy, then the employee gets support with a small investment, support with the tools, with the methods, as well as guidance and expert advice from the innovation coach. If the idea passes so-called angel's room, which is the next step, the employee gets opportunity to test the idea with the customer and create rapid prototype. The next stage is to present the project in Dragon's Den, which is our panel of internal and external innovation experts and senior leaders. If Dragon's Den is passed, there will be an additional investment made and opportunity to develop phase 1 minimum viable product for about 6 months. And the next step is called Pioneer's Nest, where the projects are finally evaluated against opportunity to scale. And if the idea is sustainable and the project goes into ignition, then the team becomes eligible for Pioneer Award and the new business becomes part of our core or gets spun out. So this was more about the process and how innovation works. How can employees get involved and contribute? So they can have an idea, they can become entrepreneurs and join a project, or they can become an ambassador. And first of all, it can be as easy as submitting your idea via Idea Drop, which is our platform, and make it a reality. Then employees get support with developing their entrepreneurial skills, building cross-functional network within the company, and also get certification in the grid. If the idea flows in the innovation process and gets additional funding, there is an opportunity to get into innovation project and become an entrepreneur within the company and build and scale new business together with an exciting team. This is a great career boost for our employees because it's a unique experience to become a CEO of your own company in a company. And finally, there is an opportunity for employees to become ambassadors and after graduating from incubation projects or just coming from a side. And for ambassadors, there is a unique opportunity to enable, pioneer innovation, get internal visibility across the company, and again, get a certification. So when we started to work with a new accelerator, everyone was super excited. And initially, we didn't realize all the challenges ahead. We thought it will be such a compelling value proposition to all employees and the managers and the entire company, and everyone would just jump on it. But in fact, throughout the journey, we realized that there were obstacles at each phase of innovation. And there are different challenges with different stakeholders. Could be employees, project managers, home managers, and even the unions in the countries where we are unionized. So it was actually one of the biggest learnings on the journey. And therefore, we started to develop a customized approach from our people function. We started to group the challenges according to different stages of innovation, and we started to create different value proposition for different stakeholders. Again, the realization came not immediately, but as we started to implement our internal accelerator. And here you can see, so if you look at the first step, which is dropping an idea, the first challenge for us was to find and attract people with the right skill set to drive new ideas. We have over time developed a talent pool of applicants. We started to run interest surveys among our employees, and we started to advertise our projects internally, not just through Ericsson ONE accelerator platform, but using our regular internal career channels. Also, we have developed value proposition for the line managers of those employees who want to drop their ideas and to participate in our innovation programs. When it comes to the next stage, joining a project and going into incubation phase, it became a bigger challenge than we thought, actually, to motivate managers to share their best talents and give them opportunity to join projects on a temporary basis for about 6 months' time. So what we did there, we developed and branded internally a concept. We called it Intrapreneurial or Intra Fellowship, a short name, and we developed value proposition and change management activities for the managers. And finally, we know that 90% of all startups fail. And of course, what it means is that the majority of our innovation projects get closed down, unfortunately. And there we have created a compelling story for employees going through the project exit. So apart from becoming part of ambassador network, they also receive extra encouragement. They receive free ticket to join the next Angels Room. And of course, again, we reinforce that joining an incubation project, even for 6 months, irrespective of how far it goes in the innovation process and the journey, it's a unique experience which you would hardly get in any other parts of the company. So again, it's been quite a journey for us to address all the challenges, and we even created an illustration for how we mobilize experts, and from the stage where projects get advertised internally, how we start to search for relevant skills, how we make decisions to take on employees, how we make an agreement with the home manager to get employee on a loan, and then starting the fellowship journey with the project manager leading on a daily basis and taking over these talents. We also reinforce that the home manager needs to have regular check-ins and make sure there's an ongoing dialogue on progress. Once there is an evaluation for the project to continue or to eventually exit, again, we have developed this rolling off process where the project manager gives feedback to the home manager of the employee, and then finally the home manager captures the experience and secures the long-term development. So again, this is an illustration that we've been using mainly in dialogues with the managers, but also when we explain the program internally, because we are a 100,000 employees company compared to our internal accelerator, which is less than 100 employees. This has been an exciting journey to get this in place. And every year, we have hundreds of entrepreneurs internally who are getting the chance to turn their ideas into reality throughout our internal innovation program. And there are many examples, super exciting, of what the team has developed. They have produced several acceleration units that are successful businesses in our portfolio. But I just wanted to share with you some ideas of what the team is currently working on. And the first example is about accelerating the arrival of autonomous vehicles. So we know that in order to operate autonomous vehicles in a safe and efficient way, they do require constant access to high quality connectivity. And in the moment, given where technology is, it's actually tricky. So one of our entrepreneurs has found an easier and more efficient way to do it. And currently, this idea is in the cooking process. The second example is my favorite. It resonates very well with the situation of a pandemic, and due to the fact that history is all around us, every place has its own story. So our entrepreneur has made it his mission to bring these stories to life and enable it through a location-bound augmented reality platform. So the vision is to create a platform which is similar to YouTube for sharing different mixed reality content and stories, and to create like a place or marketplace for the storytellers to share their stories that are connected to specific places and to specific locations. And also to monetize this in a recurring way by allowing, for example, tourists or any other interested people just to tailor their trips, or nowadays their virtual trips and tours based on their specific interest. The next example is related to how we are making site inspections safer. So you know that telecommunications network operators, they inspect and they maintain their base stations in a manual way. That happens a lot these days, and it's very time consuming and it's challenging process, can also have a lot of safety and health related aspects. So what our entrepreneur has done, they discovered a better way to conduct these site inspections using artificial intelligence. And the final example is related to improving connectivity at sea. We know that international maritime industry is responsible for transporting 90% of the world's goods, starting from raw material to food, beer, any type of goods. And despite maritime industry is so crucial to the world's economy, the digitalization is unfortunately lagging behind, and connectivity is slow, it's expensive, and at the moment only 10% of vehicles have any kind of internet access while at sea for their crew members. So our entrepreneur has invented a wireless network that provides high-speed connectivity and creating a network between different vessels that are out at sea. So these are exciting examples, and I think I could continue to talk about this for a long time. But coming to an end of my presentation, I wanted to highlight that if you look at the World Economic Forum's 2020 Future of Jobs report, we can see that analytical thinking and innovation, they were predicted to be the most sought after skills in the year of 2025. And since the beginning of the pandemics, many people actually started to reflect more and more what's important and how they can make the world better, including myself. I had a lot of conversations and reflections on that myself. And more and more people are expecting their company to align with these values. So here is what our people have experienced working on innovation projects. I wanted to thank you for having me today and end my session with hearing back from our entrepreneurs and their exciting experience.
Many have asked me, like, why should we go?
I like their intent Their intent is to do something very special, which is to drive innovation at the heart of Ericsson.
I can have an idea and I can start a new business. I think this is pretty cool, don't you think?
I felt that I had an idea that could be turned into a new line of business for Ericsson, that it could be something that is not a one-off, but that's something that could actually be used worldwide.
I found Ericsson ONE. Then I tried to understand what Ericsson ONE is basically, and I thought that this is a good platform where I should push my idea.
So you have a platform where you can submit ideas, but you can also reach out before and discuss with the people sitting there so they can guide you in advance.
For me, it was lower threshold to become entrepreneur than starting my own business.
Ericsson ONE would eliminate all of these challenges and the risks and give you the opportunities that you seek within a safety environment.
They want to get ideas, they want people to be challenged. They are constantly asking for, are we doing things right? Can we do things differently? And I love that approach.
So when they came to me with this idea, do you want to be an ambassador for Ericsson? And I said, yes, of course.
Don't hesitate, just do it.
Okay, thank you, Elena. Very interesting, I must say. We have a couple of minutes to see if we have some questions. Yes, how do you measure the effects of the program, Elena?
Yeah, so that's a great question. And of course, the main measurement of the program is how many viable and successful businesses it delivers. We haven't started this program so long ago. It's been around for a couple of years, but the goal is to deliver at least one new successful business per year.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And there are also measurements at each stage of the innovation program, so that we define exactly how many projects we want to see coming in, how many ideas, how many of them we want to pass through the different stages of the funnel. So it's quite well defined, but again, the ultimate goal is that we create new viable, successful businesses for the company and make them big.
Mm-hmm. Very interesting, and I agree with you that I think that to be an attractive employer, things like this is something that can really increase the attraction, right? I have a little risk question here for you. I mean, how is it? Have you discussed whether this is a risk that people and ideas will leave Ericsson, and that both the person and the idea will leave, so it's no longer an entrepreneur, it's an entrepreneur? Is it anything, or have you regulated this in some kind of way? Or
yeah, that's a great question. We actually haven't seen a lot of people leaving, so I don't think we've fully regulated this yet, but maybe this is something we can look into as we develop the program. I think there's been a lot of risk-related discussions when we are attracting people to join, because of course, as explained, most of innovation projects actually failed. But then there is a great balance between getting a unique opportunity and joining innovation project for 6-9 months just to get that unique experience versus lifelong employment and the job. So there we had a lot of discussions, both with employees to attract them, but also with the managers and even with the unions. Because of course, their main interest to protect their members and make sure that they have a successful journey. But we're still working on that.
Yeah, I hope it's not a risk. It's just positive, so hopefully. Another question that came up is, do you also involve the clients and the suppliers in any way in this? ideas and projects?
We do definitely involve our clients, and that's again, that's one of great advantages that we have, because Ericsson has clients more or less in all countries globally, and for them it's a great opportunity to test new ideas and new products with us very early on. And for incubation projects, we offer opportunity to create minimum viable product and do, for example, non-commercial trial with the customers. So absolutely, so the customers' supply is a very important part of this journey and making it a success.
Great. Another question that I was wondering about is there a difference in interest in this project, if I may call it that, in different parts of the world? Because Ericsson is a global company, and do you see any differences in regions?
Yeah, that's a great question. So the way we decided to operate our internal accelerator, so they have 3 hubs in our main geographies. One is in Sweden, where our headquarters is. One is in Silicon Valley, which is the heart of innovation and also a very important market in North America for the company. And the 3rd hub is in Beijing, in China, which is another a great innovation center. And then employees from all over the world, they can submit their ideas and participate in the projects, but they get connected to these 3 innovation hubs based on geography and where they are. And then to the second part of the question, we try to support our entrepreneurs also with diversity mindset. We try to combine teams in a diverse manner, so they get different people with different backgrounds, different experiences, can be gender, nationality, generational diversity, because it just fuels innovation. And I've seen it because I've been myself on the Dragon's Den panel, evaluating the projects, and it's such a difference compared to when there is a team coming from just one culture and one country, or a team which is composed by members from different geographies and with different backgrounds.
Okay, great. We have, I think, iPhone time, 2 minutes left, so we have one last question, and it's a question about: do you have seen any positive results concerning employee engagement coming from this?
Yeah, absolutely. So it has been a bit of a challenge to attract people and, to dare to take the first step. But once people join, they get excited. I mean, you saw some of our entrepreneurs on the video in the end of my presentation, but they get super excited and they come back very often with new ideas, and they bring their peers and they bring their friends. And again, innovation and purpose is becoming much more important nowadays. So I do think that it helps us as an employer and as a company.
Very inspiring, and also you must be glad to have a fantastic job, right?
I'm super excited.
Okay, thank you very much, Elena. And with that, I will hand over to our excellent chairman, Tom.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Björn. Thank you, Elena. Great presentation, empowering and stimulating innovation, a very important subject for many companies.